Hey everyone, I'm Aaron. It's the Hitless Wonder, and it's Adam. It's 10 o'clock somewhere, which means he's hitting in BP, but he can't get him in the games. You're in a baseball Brewhaha. That means we're having a cup of coffee, and we're doing a little daily baseball trivia fracas. So we've got a fun one on deck today. Adam, what do we got? Actually, before we start, I want to give a shout out to our to everybody who's watching. If you please like, subscribe, comment below. We love interacting with y'all, and we get back to you as soon as we can. And it's really fun interacting with you there. So enter your comments here about the trivia. If there's something with the statistics that we missed, please enter it here, and we'd love to hear from you. So Adam, with that, let's dive in right now.
Yeah, and as we look at our question of the day, we also love your questions. You want us to
Yeah, absolutely.
dive into something that you're excited about? Let's do it. So our question today is, which of the 5 teams with the worst team batting average since 1947, that being the integration era, had the best season? This is inspired by the 2023 Royals. We have both the baseballer and talking baseball with the same graphic, with a couple of words to summarize the season so far: brutal and horrific. So here's our question. We're gonna put some full seasons of hitting futility up here. Which team had the lowest? Which team with the lowest batting average had the best seasons? We have the 68 Yankees, last year's A's, 72 Rangers, 63 Mets, or the 63 Astros.
Yeah, I didn't have a good sense. I know like the early Mets were bad. Same with the Rangers. Oakland, definitely not. So I actually went Houston here. 63 Houston.
And I went with the Yankees on this one because, I mean, Houston was a couple of years in as a new franchise. Same with the Mets, same with the Rangers. And last year's A's were not good. So I went with the Yankees. I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
Okay.
So let's go to the notes. What do we have? We have the 1968 Yankees starting the day off with a win here. They finished 83 and 79. Still not great.
No, not great, but
500 there.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But it's hard to win games when you don't get on base. You don't have hits.
And Houston, your guess,
Mm-hmm.
came in second. Not a close second, but came in second.
Mm-hmm.
The only other team on this list not to lose 100 games, but they
Yeah.
lost 96, so they got close.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So that's what you get when you don't hit. You don't win.
Yeah. Well, for those who are, not enjoying listening to teams who can't hit, let's talk about teams who can. So the best batting average ever, 1950 Red Sox, 302 team batting average, which is very good. Only team to ever play a full season and finish over 300.
Mm-hmm.
They finished 94 and 60. Their lowest batting average for a regular player, Bobby Doerr, at 294. Is said on for the starters, the highest was Dom DiMaggio at 328. They actually had a utility player who we talked about in another show, who was their leadoff hitter. Utility player hit 354, Billy Goodman, and finished second in MVP voting. That's how good they were. Their non-starting utility player, second in MVP.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah, they only had 2 guys of the regulars that hit under 300. How'd they miss the playoffs, you ask? Because they didn't make the playoffs. Well, at that time, just the World Series, but they didn't make it. How is that possible? Well, their pitching was bad. We talked about the in a prior episode the A's walking a ton of guys. So did these Red Sox. 748 walks. That's good for 5 walks per 9. An ERA of 4.88. They were near the bottom of the league in those categories. Sorry.
Yeah. So now we're trending back toward teams who do things poorly. In 2023, which is the inspiration for this. The Royals are currently at 203. At the making of that, the Facebook captures or the tweets by those baseballer, they were at 182. So they've been on a hot streak. They're all the way to 203.
Yeah.
Which would be the worst ever by quite a wide margin. Worst ever for a full season is the 214 1968 Yankees. Worst in any season, 2020 Reds, who hit 212, but finished with a winning record.
Yeah, that's wild. That 2020 Reds team was led. Kyle Farmer led the team with 266. Jesse Winker at 255. Those were the only guys over 250. They had 10 players on their roster hit under 200.
Wow.
I mean, some of those had limited playing time, but still, that's bad.
Yeah. But what's wild about that team, though, they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lowest team batting average ever to make the playoffs.
It should be noted that the playoffs were expanded even beyond what they are now. You had 8 in each league made the playoffs, so the bar was much lower in 2020.
Yeah. They lost to the Braves that year. For a full season, the lowest batting average for a playoff team, our very own Seattle Mariners last year hit 230 as a team, which we're going to get to in story time a little bit. The 1968 Tigers, lowest batting average for a 100-win team.
Yeah, and those 68 Tigers, interesting. How do you have? So they hit 235. So how do you hit 235 and have 100 wins? Well, you pitch it really well. So the team ERA for those Tigers was 271. They were near the top of the league in all pitching categories. And at the end of the day, it's about run differential. You got to score more than your opponents, and they had a plus 179 run differential, that's how you get it.
Yeah, well, and the story of that season was Denny McLain and Bob Gibson. It was the year of the pitcher, 1968.
Yeah, sure was.
Yeah, and the story of this show now is moving into story time. So let's bring the funk and go with story time here. All right, I'm kicking story time off with talking about our Mariners. We've had a run of not hitting, and
it's been a run.
Really, since 2001, it's been a run. I mean, we had Felix Hernandez, possibly the best pitcher in the game for quite a while. His Cy Young year, he was unbelievable, but finished with almost a losing record because there were like X number of games, like probably 75% of his starts, where the Mariners scored 2 or fewer runs.
Yeah,
but he was dominant, and he never made the playoffs with the Mariners. It took them 20 years to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we're struggling out the gates already again. They have like the 5th lowest batting average in MLB right now.
Yeah. I mean, they had the fortune of being able to pitch it quite well last year. Still working that part out this year, but hopefully we're moving in the right direction. I want to talk about one of the worst hitting teams that you and I ever played on. Was we played a Summer Legion team for the Pullman Posse. And we had a lot of young guys, a lot of like freshmen in high school kind of guys. And Adam and I were we were in between our junior and senior year. We'd played a lot of baseball. So we were, the old wily vets on the team, if you will. But we didn't hit. And there was one game that I remember in particular where we were up in Spokane. We played a lot of games against Spokane teams. And we were down, I think we were down 5-1. There was some kind of a call, and Coach Burdett went out and talked to the umpire, and the umpire said something to the effect of, "It's not my fault that your team can't hit." And Burdett lost it, and he absolutely went ballistic on the umpire, got thrown out of the game, and we got all fired up, came back and won the game 6-5, put together some hits. That was one of the funniest memories because Burdett is a very soft-spoken guy, like great coach, great guy, but he's not a guy to scream at the ump and get wrong. But when the umpire made that comment, he was like, "I ain't having that." So, oh, good times, good
Yeah,
times.
what a great story time that was.
Well, thanks everybody for joining. That's going to wrap it up for us today. We're special thanks to MLB, Talking Baseball, and the Baseballer. If you've got a burning question, enter in the comments below or find us on Twitter. Tweet at us there with your burning question. Subscribe, like, join us. We're back at it again tomorrow. So join us there. We'll look forward to seeing you.